What up, peeps? It's your super sketch artist Antonio back with another unboxing review. This is day 4 and we got some really good stuff. Even during day 4, we got some new figures and we got some new equipment to look at. So let's jump right into it. First things first, we have our favorite Raging Cajun. We have the man Gambit. He is an uncommon this time. He shares the same sculpt as the Thieves Guild, which I knew we would get Gambit, but I thought we would get a different sculpt, but he shares the same sculpt as the Thieves Guild, and it works perfectly for him. The only thing I would have done is maybe put his staff kind of hanging out the back or something, or like in his hand, one of his hand, but he looks cool. I know WizKids could never do like the cigarette thing, but it would also have been cool, like the old 90s Gambit smoked, so I understand they don't want to do that now, but I digress. I love the sculpt. He has good keywords. Like I've been saying this whole unboxing review series, he will be on Wakanda teams because he has spy keyword. Them giving him marksman makes it so that he can get trick arrows for free. Remember that we have that Deadpool and Cable Iconics coming out, so we're going to get another set of trick arrows that should actually make him and a lot of other characters absolutely nasty. He only has 2 traits and he has no special powers, which helps him out with his teammate Iceman that came out in the Weapon X set recently. So that'll bump up his attack value throughout his dial. But the thing I love about this Gambit is him being able to steal equipment. I don't know if this works, but he has energy explosion, and it says when Gambit hits, you may choose that he deals a maximum of 1 damage to each hit character. If you do, unequip each hit character. He has energy explosion. He has 2 bolts. So what you can do is you can just throw some stuff and just be like, all right, you drop them objects. Who cares if he does the damage? Being able to drop some objects unequipped and get destroyed, or they get destroyed when they're unequipped. So this Gambit is going to see some play. Someone's going to figure out a way to use him. He's also a wild card, which actually helps just who he is. Like, you can give him stealth again on Wakanda, even if he's not on Wakanda, because he is a martial artist. He does have some keywords that might match up, or just a team, or yeah, I mean, anything that could actually make him really good. Even late dial, he has a precision strike with close combat expert. I absolutely love this piece, and all for under 50 points. For 45 points, this guy is chef's kiss. I cannot wait to field him. He has a lot of good X-Men brothers and sisters that are waiting for him. So next up, we have one of my favorite pieces and one of my favorite characters in comics right now is Cosmic Ghost Rider. Now, this is Frank Castle as the Ghost Rider. This is the second time we've gotten this version of him. First version was a convention exclusive. WizKids, make a legacy card for all of those pieces that got delayed for the pandemic. That first iteration of Cosmic Ghost Rider was one of those. So by the time he came out, he was definitely dated. By the time that they got him into the hands and got back into going to conventions and stuff like that, he was dated. Him, that Thanos, those Ellies, that Superman, even the Ares, all those pieces are great pieces, but they need legacy cards. Just make some legacy cards for them. The sculpts are beautiful, the dials are great, but those point values are way too high. And you can see that this version of him is half the price of the full dial. The first one was 150 points, and that just doesn't stack up for what he does overall. He's a great piece, but like this new version is only 75 points. And when, you know, he has the Spirit of Vengeance trait, which you saw in the Wheel of Vengeance set, so he goes well with the rest of the Ghost Riders. If you actually play all of them together, that just, someone's going to take Mystics, and then now it's a lot of penetrating and plus damage on these guys. I absolutely love what he does, starting with the Hypersonic, starting with Prop for 75 points. He's not Cosmic Energy, which I'm surprised that he's not Cosmic Energy, but he does have Guardians and Mystics team ability to also help him out. He has some really good keywords as well. Assassin is going to be fun. Cosmic means that you can put him on the sideline for the common Thanos that we saw yesterday. If you didn't see the unboxing yesterday, go back and watch it. Not only watch Scott Porter's, but if you want my view on it, watch the review I did yesterday. That 300-point Thanos, I'm not even thinking about him at 150 points because I'm using him at 300 points. This Ghost Rider is absolutely amazing and will give him access to hypersonic, his whole dial, give him access to invincible, his whole dial, give him access to prob. Such nice powers. I absolutely love this piece. Also, this Cosmic Ghost Rider has the Reap trait that 300-point Thanos and the play at home Gamora, and even I think the Gamora that's in this set too, the Gamora and the Nebula, the play at home Nebula have that Reap trait. So watch out for these 0-point pieces in these bystanders that, you know, now they might cost something dealing with some of these characters. I know for a fact that you are going to see that trait in play, and I hope that these pieces aren't the only time that we get to see it. I would love to see a new Lady Death come out with that same type of trait. This was perfect, made perfectly for her and other characters. I know Necron, we just got him in Notorious last year, but I would love to see a Necron that has the same type, or the Black Lanterns going forward, to also have that type of trait, that Reap trait. I really, really like it. He also has the Bones of Sidorak, a special power that you know, can just deal out. It says when Cosmic Ghost Rider hits, choose a hit character until your next turn. Until your next turn, that character has, when this character is given a move or power action after resolutions, roll a d6 and deal that character damage equal to the result. I absolutely love that. So that when he hypersonics up front and he hits somebody, and he has 9 movement with a 6 range, so that's a 12 square swing that he has with a 12 attack, and with the prob to make sure he hits. So when he hits somebody, if you do anything in retaliation, if you move, if you sidestep, any of those things, if you charge, if you hypersonic, any of those things, now he gets to do what the old essentially the old Deathstroke and Legacy Deathstroke that they just made gets to do, which is like when you move, instead of you moving next to him, when you move or do anything like that, now he gets to roll that d6 and attack you. He's only a rare, and that makes him easily accessible to a lot of people. The sculpt looks great. I've seen this sculpt in person at Worlds. I cannot wait to play with this figure. Next up, we have Hala the Accuser. I knew they were going to reuse the Accuser, the Kree Accuser sculpt, because that sculpt is too beautiful just for them to do one time, especially considering how big it was. Scott Porter kept talking about how big it was, and this Hala the Accuser looks amazing. She has police team ability to help out with those Accuser generics, to help out with Ronin. She's 60 or 40 points, so she's less points than Ronin. I absolutely, I love that. And if you team her up with her fellow Kree, which can do lots of damage, you get to heal her one. Amazing. She also does kind of like a stunning blow. When she incaps you, then she gets to free attack you with a +1 to her attack and damage. So she can run in, charge that she starts off with, hit with that 11, then follow and give you the incap, then follow up with 12-4. I love this piece. Absolutely love this piece. And if you give her the universal weapon, if for some reason you don't want to use Ronin and you want to build around her, you give her the universal weapon, you can actually just make her do whatever you want with that universal weapon, with the precision strike, with the quake, any of those types of things. I'm probably would give her blades just to make sure that second attack might hurt even more than what it was. But overall, I like her dial. Lots of regen on the back end. I love pieces that have reducers, so after you break through the reducers, they can heal back up. It is a little bit of a viability because they're squishy, but for 60 points, I actually think she's really good. Even for 40 points. For 40 points, she still has an 11-4 that she's clocking in with for 40 points. That's not bad at all. So Hala the Accuser, I absolutely love her. Now, next up, I think on the first day, Scott had pulled Centurion Iron Man, and I was going gaga over him. Now, he luckily pulled the Prime. I'm so glad he pulled the Prime in this, so I don't even have to debate or wonder what this one does. Prime Iron Man, I need 2 of him. one to actually play and one to take this sculpt off and put it on the dial of a better Iron Man, like a quintessential Iron Man, because I love Silver Centurion armor. It's my favorite. I'm not going to go into that whole thing. I explained it on day one. Silver Centurion armor, this prime is absolutely fun. He's not super game breaking. He is a fun thematic piece. I wish a more quintessential, I wish that 200-point Iron Man from Avengers Forever, I think it was, had that 200-point beefy Iron Man. I wish he had this trait, which is free. Just once per game, you choose 3 characters with Stark Industries. We just recently got the Hall of Armors earlier in the year. The Hall of Armors, what that does is it gave us a whole bunch of just Iron Men. And knowing that you can fill up your sideline if you play him with those characters and potentially have any of those, what it does is he chooses those as his prototypes. Then at the beginning of the turn, you choose one, and then you turn, and he can use the standard powers displayed on that character's dial until you choose again. First off, Hulkbuster gives him access to a bunch of really cool stuff. So many other different, War Machine and other people who have Stark, Ironheart, who have Stark Industries, give him access to any power that he essentially wants, or that you want Iron Man to have. You want him to have Pulse Wave, there's somebody for that. Psychic Blast, there's somebody for that. Maybe even Blades, who knows? You would have to look at all of the Stark Industry characters. There actually definitely is somebody with Blades, I think, in the Hall of Armor. But whatever you want, he can have those powers. I absolutely love this piece. And when he is KO'd, you can generate the last prototype that he used. So you take him off the map, put that prototype on the map on their last non-KO click, and then heal them 2 clicks. And then you don't score them. That's amazing. All for 80 points, or for 45 points, or 45 points. But he is 80 points, so he's the same point value as Colonel James Rhodes and Colossus. I don't know what this 80-point value... Oh, and Prime Spider-Man, who was so good that he got banned in silver. So this Iron Man definitely is a step below all of those ones that I just mentioned. At the same time, this is a supremely fun figure. And if you find yourself lucky enough to pull the Silver Centurion and the Prime in a sealed, you have to play them together. Another cool thing that this guy does is he has a special attack power that he starts off with that goes with his running shot, which is called Pulse Bolt. Range, you make a range attack and against a single character of a direct line. So you can go at the different angles, but you have to go in a straight line, whichever angle you choose. And then instead of normal damage, you deal that damage that's between you and that character. He has a 5 range, so you can essentially bump him up to potentially do 8 damage to somebody. 8 damage to somebody. OMG. 8 damage to somebody? Come on. And he has Avengers keyword, or team ability, so he will potentially have a 13 attack. You can outwit, because he has outwit on his first 3 clicks, you can outwit some defenses to make sure that attack hits. 13 on more than likely maybe an 18, even a 19, that's only a 6. For potentially either 5 damage, or if you shield him up. Come on. That's so good. I cannot wait to play this piece, and the sculpt just looks amazing. It just looks like Tony. When you saw it on display that Scott had, it just looked like, I dare you to do something. I'm Iron Man. I got my helmet off. What are you going to do? Because when I put this helmet on, it's go time. I absolutely love this piece. I'm super excited to play it. I cannot wait to play this piece. Last figure that we have to review today is Ulysses Bloodstone, which comes out of left field. We've seen Elsa made recently twice, and we saw her a long time ago in GSX, and she also got made in Wheels of Vengeance, and she got made in Disney Plus. So we've seen her already 3 times this year. So it's great to finally see her father. Her father actually got some shine not too long ago, I think earlier in the year, in some Avengers stories, or it was toward the end of last year. He was in some Avengers stories. That's why he has the Avengers keyword. Just another iteration of him being part of the Avengers a long time ago, before, the Avengers. There were a group of superpower people, and he was a part of that. if you watch Werewolf by Night, if you haven't watched Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus and you have access to it, do yourself a favor and go watch it. But Ulysses Bloodstone, now it shows why this guy was so revered. He is a monster hunter, but also a monster in Dial for me. He has soldier keyword, which means he can be on a Wakandan team because of the LE Captain America. I'm going to keep praising the Wakanda Forever LE thing because I love the keyword cheating with all the Wakandans that we have now. It makes him super strong. Super strong. So with that being the case, he has Blaze traded, which again activates Ares. That just came out in the Wakanda set. In the Black Panther set. And when he uses it and attacks one or more characters with a monster, or when he attacks one or more characters with monster keyword, he gets +1 attack and damage. So that means he's hitting for a 12-4. So even if he attacks one person that has monster and one person that doesn't, he still gets that buff. He is a wild card, so he could potentially choose Avengers, which would mean he would have a 13 attack against in certain cases if you team him up with the right people. There's plenty of good team abilities to go around. Also, when he KOs a character, an opposing character with a monster keyword, he scores 10 victory points, which is phenomenal considering if he KOs a character that's already, he just gets whatever your points are +10. That could potentially win you the game. We've all had those instances where you lost by 5 points, you lost by 10 points. Ulysses having this trait can potentially be a game winner and a game shifter in the grand scheme of things. I absolutely love him, but his first 3 clicks, he has a special attack, special movement power that gives him charge and leap climb with flurry as well. And when he hits with both attacks, he may deal damage equal to his printed damage value to an opposing character within range and line of fire. He hasn't damaged this turn. So I just pummeled somebody, and the next thing you know, I didn't hurt you now. Well, now take 3. Great. There's so many pieces in the game. Bystanders, the support pieces. How many times have we had to choose whether you want to hit the support or you want to hit the person that they're being supported? Now being able to be like, all right, I'm going to just pummel you. And then now I'm going to hurt you, Scott Porter. Any of these other small pieces that might die within 3 clicks just because they're literally a support piece. He is amazing. Another thing that makes him truly nasty is his other trait, which is Bloodstone Immortality. When he takes damage, you roll a d6. And I love pieces like this. I love pieces that roll dice and that reward you for rolling dice. There's so many things in the game that make it so you don't have to roll dice. Literally, the rivalry one shot that's in this set makes it so you don't have to roll dice for one attack. But I love pieces like this. He can shrug off a whole attack. So when he's dealt damage, if you roll a d6 and you roll a 1 and 2, you deal damage normal. If you roll a 3 to 5, he takes 1 unavoidable. Just 1. And then if you roll a 6, you heal him a click instead. Could you imagine rolling the dice and you hit him for big damage and then he rolls that 6 on you? OMG, I cannot wait to play this piece. Another thing that comes with him is the Bloodstone Object. The Bloodstone Object is 10 points. The qualifying keywords or names are his daughter and him. So him or his daughter. Again, we got 3 versions of Elsa that you could equip this to. And you can equip it for free. It gives you regen, which again is... Can you imagine getting Ulysses down to his last click? And the next thing you know, he says, I think I'm just going to, I don't know, regen. And if he's on his last click, he potentially 1, 2, 3, get back up to click 2. And if you hit him again, he could potentially get back up to click 1. I love pieces like that. I've always loved pieces that could regen and then regen back up. But a piece like this that can heal, proactively on its own, and with the Bloodstone that he gets free, potentially just... Also, another thing that the Bloodstone does is when an opposing character would heal, instead they heal 1 click less. This was the Iron Doom that had just came out in Avengers 60, the Legacy card. They had given him this power where characters within range, which was 8, when they heal 1 less. We now have Starro. So Starro is a big thing, and knowing that Starro is big on healing, knowing if you have someone who rolls poorly on that, if you roll twos, now you get nothing on those Starro heals, or you just might get one on those Starro heals. You know, I cannot wait to see this in play. There's so much healing, not only in this set, but there's so much healing in the game right now. So potentially stumping all this healing, you know, Black Lanterns still are a thing. This Bloodstone is going to be in popular demand, as well as Ulysses. I cannot wait to see both of these on the field. But with that being said, what say you? Are you excited about these pieces? Do you think that the Bloodstone is going to be big in the game in general? Because I do think it has its place in Silver, it has its place in Constructed, and at your kitchen table. I'm sure you can think of some amazing big point games. I'm a lover of 500 and above point games. I love that WizKids is starting to embrace the 400 format. I love that. What do you see? What have you seen in these unboxes that really tickle your fancy, and what has you really excited? We've seen this Prime. Are you excited about this Prime? Is this Prime going to take the slot of some of the other Primes we just recently got? What say you? I would love to talk clicks with you in the comments, either on here or on any of my other social medias, on the Facebook where I'm at a lot. Let's talk some clicks. Tell me what you think. As always, it is your super sketch artist, Antonio. Thank you for showing up. Like and do all the YouTube stuff. I appreciate you. As always, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Go be super.